What's good, guys? Welcome back to the another end of the week review. All right, we're gonna go over some of the things we did this week, or if we took any trades this week. And of course, I'm being joined by a great friend of mine, Leo.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. It's finally Friday. And as you can see, this week was a really hectic one. Lots of red folders, lots of crazy price action, um, and lots of twists and turns in price action for on our end. Um, I don't know if you guys recall, if you guys watch our previous videos, that we did start the week off bearish, wanting price to run lower on news. However, as you can see on the midweek review, we readjusted our bias towards the upside. And as you can see on your charts, mainly futures ran incredibly this week, leaving almost no room for people to get in. It was very quick price action.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there, Leo. Week was pretty tough for me personally. I had a little win in the beginning, gave it back to the markets. And then thankfully the last 2 days, Thursday, Friday, I was able to book a win to end the week off strong. All right. Definitely a very, very tough week, especially after last week was also a tough week. But yeah, let's get into and checking out what the markets did this week. So the dollar
Yeah,
index. All right, go for it, Leo.
Yeah, so we're going to start off as we always do with the dollar index on the daily chart to see how order flow is doing. Um, and so to start off, we see that dollar didn't run that uppermost pool of buy side near 107,400 as we expected it to, which is totally fine. Instead, it ran sell side into a discount level. Now, as you can see, I've noted very simple chart here, showing it like kind of what we expected throughout the weeks on this series. We started this series when dollar was in a consolidation and it was kind of flagging, and we would expect it to consolidate and then run higher out of that consolidation, as you would expect kind of like a bull flag to do. And instead, we had more chop, a lot of manipulation, and finally a run counter direction to our bias, which is downward. Now, as you can see, throughout the last 20 days or so, we were stuck in a consolidation. And let me see. Yeah, so we ran sell side first here, this pull. Then price took a rally towards the upside, took out buy side, ran down into a short-term discount here, and then manipulate higher one more time, taking out buy side liquidity before running extremely quickly lower towards the end of the week, around Thursday, Friday of this week, on news. And so with that being said, let's go into the lower time frame. So this is 4 hour on the dollar index. As you can see, I tried to keep it as simple as possible, drawing towards the daily imbalance high and low here. So as I said before, this is I think the biggest PD array, or kind of anchor to price, which the level price was gyrating around throughout the last 20 days was this. It was being used a lot. And so this is why I kept it on pretty much throughout most of our videos so far. And so let's start from this then. So we have the daily imbalance high and low, which price trades through, down, and then up again towards the discount and the premium end. We use it down here. The trades past it a little bit, albeit, but we do end up expanding higher into a premium array here, which I noted is a bearish order block on the 4 hour. I do note by these three closed candles here. I took the whole range and as well noted the 50% of that, which price runs into really nicely on, I think, Wednesday, making the high of the week before running lower. Now, I would like to note this 4-hour imbalance here, a pretty important level that price ran into. Using the whole range of this imbalance, however, the bodies are respecting it, which I really like. And if we take this range low to high here, this is below the 50% level. So this was kind of like a inducement for higher. And we create another imbalance here, which price reuses, as well as this area here, where price runs into the daily imbalance high and then sells off towards the end of the week. I did note that there's this really small level here. This is a imbalance within the imbalance. And so I did note it because this was a really like a small inefficient level in price where price did run up into it, almost the halfway point of that imbalance, take it out, and then just run drastically lower. So towards the midweek of this week into the end of this week, there was a lot of bearish signatures for dollar, which signal for other assets classes higher prices. And so you'll see how we use this and going into the analysis of other assets coming up right now.
Yeah, so that was a great coverage by Leo, right? We had to flip our bias for Dixie, but it's cool, right? Everything happens for a reason, and we're able to acknowledge when it's, hey, we're wrong, step on the side, or hey, we're wrong, let's change our bias and flip it to the other side. All right, so let's get into Euro USD here, right? For Euro USD, we have the September 20th high up here where price eventually got up to, right? But obviously the target in the meantime was the sell side liquidity for previous weekly high. As you can see, Monday it opened, dropped lower, ran sell side out, right? And then reacted very aggressively and started punching higher and higher, right? And if you guys noticed here, right, we do see how price is creating these little swing lows here, right? 1, 2, and then the third swing low here, or even this one here, allowing price to really be dynamic to push up high, run out these buy side here. All right. So let's go into the Euro USD 1 hour, right? So for EU 1 hour, it was a little bit, it was very difficult to trade if you were trying to trade this. Like I said, like what we said already in the beginning of the week, we're like, okay, E looks like it can run lower for sell side, right? But right when price starts moving the way it was, it gave us a little bit of worry. That's why we wanted to switch our bias, right? But as you can see, Monday ran higher, Dixie ran lower, which was fine. Tuesday created the potential high of the week, right? We're like, okay, Tuesday might be the high of the week, right? We see this massive sell-off, which is really nice, right? Tried trades and then trades a little bit, consolidates a little bit sideways, very slow trading. Price opens, runs a little higher, drops lower, runs straight into sell side, right? Takes out these little sell side liquidity short-term lows here, trades down here, right? We then have a smart money reversal. Price comes down here, aggressively takes out these lows, starts shedding price higher, right? And then here at the 1 hour, we'll see that if you guys pull up on your chart, there was SMT. Dixie was able to run out that low, and then EU failed to run out this high, right? So and when that happened, I was like, okay, very interesting why Dixie took out that low, but EU failed to take out that high. Are they saving this high for later? Which we find out with hindsight. Yes, they did. They dropped low just short of that high. Built more sentiment here, and then finally sent it higher with NFP on basically today, right? Running out buy side, the draw, and really pushing higher here, right? Obviously, there was still sell side down here, or even lows down here that they could have drawn to, but they chose not to. So in my opinion, if they start sending it lower, when they start sending it lower, then I'll be looking at these downside as their targets. But in the meantime, still sideline. I want to see something where they're telling me, hey, we're going to go down now and we're going to be looking for bearish targets. Like I said, in the meantime, sideline, right? Let's move on to GU, right? See, GU was a little bit better, I would say, right? It wasn't too crazy, right? And then you start noticing when I brought up the swing lows on EU, you start seeing it on GU as well. There's swing low here, swing low here, swing low here, accumulation, 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 right? Massive expansion, looking for distribution up above these buy side here. Maybe then we can start seeing a turn lower. But in the meantime, I'm not going to try and say, hey, this is the top or this is the bottom, whatever, right? We'll just wait, see what the market wants to do. Right, price trades up into this inefficiency here, trades up to buy side. So I'm fairly confident that there might be some level of retracement lower, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to call it top, right? And if it wants to punch one more time high, runs up into these highs here, trades up through these bodies here, maybe even that. And if it does, it does, right? Like I said, I'm not telling you guys, oh, it's going to go lower from here or it's going to go higher from here. It's just at the moment, stay sideline, just be aware, like, okay, it ran into very, very high levels of premium, took out very aggressive levels of buy side and trades in this inefficiency here, right? So this is a very, very massive bullish candle that doesn't look like it can stop, but sometimes it might stop here and just drop, or it can consolidate here, give a little bit of retracement, and then punch higher. Could do that too, right? But let's move on to a lower time frame. So we have the 1 hour, right? So I broke this down a little bit more for you guys. Oops, sorry. Well, scroll my mouse there. So this was the daily wick constant encroachment you guys saw. This is this candle here, right? Price drops lower, comes right down into that wick, responds out. This is the weekly opening price. All right, Monday, midnight New York opens. Price drops. Price drops. It's supposed to be here, but it's angled there, but it's here. Price comes up, drops lower, right below market open price. And if you guys had GU, or if we knew GU was going to go higher, I'm respecting this, that, okay, this is they created this low here, runs aggressively higher, trades right back down into that weekly market open price, as you guys can see. Sends price higher above buy side, right? Sends a little retracement lower, runs buy side aggressively here again, here, and even here, right? We have them trading back into short-term discount, running short-term lows here, right? Trading back down into this down candle here, right? And right back into weekly market open price. Price accumulates some more. Doesn't really get up anymore for us to either try to buy or sell, right? Nice stop run here. Doesn't take out this low, right? Creates this low here. Price runs higher, sends it lower. Does not take out this low. Price runs higher here. Starts breaking out. Comes shy of this high here. Price then comes down into this top of this candle here. This is the exact pip, right? If you guys want to go check it out yourself, this is on GU 1 hour. Look at the high of that. Look at the high of that. Look at the low of this candle. Is the exact same number. All right. So we have the immediate rebalance. What do we expect from that? Massive move away from it, or extremely bullish move away from it, which we see here. Right. It comes down perfectly, reacts really aggressively. Right. Runs out these highs here. Buy side's resting above these. Really aggressive move higher. Right. Tries trades lower. And now I'm looking, hey, I don't know what it wants to do now. It ran buy side. It could run these lows if it wants to go lower. If Dixie was gonna go higher, like I said, NFP, they don't want to touch it. They don't want to do too much with it. Right. So price just kind of moves up, moves down, moves up, stays here for a little bit. NFP drops, price then sends this really aggressively higher, trading into these buy side liquidities up here, right? Trading that inefficiency. So, like I said, at the meantime, this was very, very solid if you were able to catch any of these buys up into these buy side liquidity. But I wasn't be able to part of it, so it's okay. Crazy week. So didn't do too much with GU here. Did you have anything you want to add for GU, Leo?
Not at the moment. No.
Okay, sounds good. Let's move on from GU, and it's take it away, Leo.
All right. So this is crude oil, the daily. I did talk about on our midweek review that I was switching my bias for crude oil from bullish to bearish. As you can see that there's a lot of respect of premium PDRAs and that the order flow is in generally trying to push lower, drawing to something at discount. So for the next upcoming week, I do see Sen 866 as a potential target for me. And I'll see what it does here. Looking at this bullish order block here. And then depending on what it does, how velocity of price, and whether we see more news and economic events in the world, I do want to look at this imbalance here from August as a potential draw as well. But we'll see how we get down here first, and if we get down here first. But for now, I do want to just recap the week on the 4 hour. So this is 4 hour, a little zoomed in view of the price action here. I do want to draw your attention to this fair value gap, buy side imbalance, sell side efficiency, cut through all of these candles, and you see how this week's price action mainly revolved around this level. There's a lot of consolidation and choppiness, like these shallow runs lower and run back into this fair value gap. The bodies more or less are within this, especially into the end of the week. And here, this imbalance here, this sell side imbalance, buy side efficiency. You see the price keeps wicking into it. This is like the quarter quadrant, the lower quarter quadrant, this halfway point, and this is almost filling it in completely. However, it doesn't, which is very important to me because it signals bearishness. It almost fills it in, but it doesn't. And as you can see in a later slide, I will analyze a portion of price action from this week, which was phenomenal to me. I really enjoyed watching it. I didn't trade it, but it's nice to see some of this type of price action in the charts because of how crazy the market's been lately. So yeah, more or less, we're in a sell program overall, and I'm waiting for the big leg of distribution to occur next week, and we'll see if it gives me that next week based on the news. Namely because of this expansion lower on, I think, around Friday, late into Friday's expansion lower. And this green candle coming up and filling in this would-be imbalance here makes price really efficient. It doesn't really have a reason to go higher anymore because we kept poking into premium, this short-term premium here I'm referencing. And its price has been expanding away from it. Now we see what it wants to do because, as I said, I think crude oil is heavy towards the downside. So let's dive into Friday's price action, which is today, and check it out. So this is pretty much the whole daily range. I'm showing you I was watching it develop, and it was just really nice. So we start here at the original consolidation overnight. Here, price isn't really doing anything, meandering around until we get to the midnight open, Eastern time. I'm gonna mark out the midnight open price. We see like a good power of three type of thing in the charts here, where we take out buy side first, this buy side here, these little highs, and then we run down prior to 8:30 here as inducement, taking out sell side into a bullish order block right here. And by the way, we are still working inside this daily fair value gap here. This is highlighted in gray. So we can see how price action is kind of anchored towards this area, using it for whatever the market makers need it to do. So yeah, so we have inducement here early into the day. This is the manipulation run higher. This is basically your Judas swing into 8:30. And here we have the reversal. Big expansion higher, makes the high into this daily sell side imbalance, buy side efficiency, which I marked in purple in the previous slide. I'll come back to it just for clarity's sake. So we're reusing these levels here. So we have our manipulation move at 8:30. Our price starts breaking down, takes out this level, which is kind of like your shift. Now, this is basically model 2022 here, model of the YouTube model ICT taught on his YouTube channel. And I did like I used to expect a run into this gap here, this imbalance here, prior to taking it out. But as I said right here, price is unlikely to fill the gap as there is a wick besides this imbalance. So price is likely to really move away from it and not try to meander around there. It's going to want to accelerate with velocity down. However, do not fret. There's still many more opportunities to get in to a short because as my bias suggested, we are trying to take out sell side and run to further discount on the higher time frame. So order flow is bearish here. So I'm kind of utilizing the opening range concept to showcase like, oh, you can find entries here. So we go from the midnight open to the high here, extrapolate that one range down. So it's kind of like down here. So we have these entry opportunities in here. As you go into a lower time frame, you could probably find something in here. As price runs down, we know order flow is definitely bearish here now into a discount PD array. We retrace into the midnight open price inside of this range. This is a great sell. We run down one more time lower, and then we expand towards the upside again into this breaker here. And I'm on the 5-minute chart, but on the 15-minute chart, it's very apparent that this is a breaker. Run into it, and then price sells off really smoothly into sell side, taking out 80.22. So to me, this was really, really nice price action, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. Yeah. Is there anything you'd like to add, Alan?
No, I think this is very, very solid, very, very clean. Right? I really liked how you presented it in a very user-friendly manner where we can see exactly what you were talking about. Um, for crude oil, man, this is very, very clean. Like this is one of the cleanest charts I've seen, like cleanest movement from price that I've seen in a minute for sure. Right. Just seeing how nice it closes below the breaker at the second time it comes up into it. Right. Even trading right up to the midnight opening price and then leaving sell side intact for a second expansion lower. Yeah, very, very beautiful movement on crude oil. Well done. Yeah, let's move on from crude oil.
Oh, oh. Yeah, so yes, daily. As you guys can recall, if you guys watched the previous video on the weekly recap, midweek recap, I did switch bias on Wednesday. I was saying that price accelerated on Wednesday extremely quickly after moving into a discount right here. And so that indicated to me that, hey, market makers want to move price like into a deeper premium because of the velocity I saw. And the fact that a lot of the premium PD arrays weren't being respected on the daily and um, even on the weekly, I will say, it was meandering around a weekly level, which I will show you in the next slide. But yeah, price was really adamant to shoot higher. Like the market makers were trying to move it somewhere. So that's why I switched bias on Wednesday. And as you can see, we blew past my target of this gap here and into this area of consolidation here. Yeah, so I'm gonna move into the lower time frame to kind of break this down for you guys even more. So this is Monday and then into the end of the week here. And so we see that price started at a discount here as per last week. And we were saying that this was the draw into early in the week. And we were expecting some sort of like a continuation lower into sell side. However, that wasn't given to us. And so we had to adapt to market conditions. So, notable things are this gap here, and I'll get into this little bit later. However, I did mark a weekly bearish order block level here. It's not noted on the weekly level, but you can go into your weekly chart. It's just a body of that green candle here, and you can see how price consolidates around it. I thought that was the high of the week, to be honest. However, Friday just sent it even higher, and kind of sad I missed out, but it's okay. So this is the daily bearish order block, and as you can see, we pretty much blasted past this imbalance into this consolidation. I marked out this fair value gap here as to where price ended here. I guess hopefully, maybe, I don't know. I feel like this is where the market makers were trying to reach for, from this premium to, discount to this premium to distribute here towards the end of the week. I chose this specific fair value gap because I was looking at the body high, body low of this consolidation here, this range, and this was the fair value gap PD array that was closest to the equilibrium. And as you can see, price kind of reaches into this levels 50% and into the fair value gap 50%, overshoots a little, but this is how we ended the week. In short, this is like a basic market maker buy model, except there's not many reaccumulations. And that makes me a little suspicious because ideally I would want to see a little bit of retracement, expansion higher, retracement, expansion higher, and there would be PD arrays on this buy side of the curve for us to work within. However, as you can see, very few, and if there were, it was for very few moments in the beginning of the AM session on a very small time frame. And it was very hard to work with. So very suspicious. I'm suspecting this is kind of like a manipulation higher, distribute, and then we start moving lower. However, I'm gonna have to wait and see till next week to see how we move. All right, so this is NASDAQ, pretty much the same deal. We took out this volume imbalance on the daily chart. In here, body's respecting that and shot way higher. Big notable thing is this volume imbalance here, which I noted. We'll get into it in the lower time frame. And price did eventually reach for this buy side imbalance, sell side efficiency on the daily, as I noted here. I'll expand it on the next slide. All right, so hopefully this is clear, but you can mark it up on your own charts if it's not. But this was, I guess, the weekly draw here into deep premium. Notable things on the weekly outlook video, I did say I want to see how we trade in within this new week opening gap. Price used this as quote unquote support. You can see the bodies are respecting this week opening gap high, which is in hindsight very, very bullish because it didn't even go into it and it started moving higher. And we can see price expands into the liquidity void or volume imbalance and kind of consolidates in it a while and expands really quickly through it. I'll expand on the daily week level in one small time frame example I have on the next slide. But yeah, we blast through all these premium PD arrays and end the week much higher. Do you have anything to add, Alan, for NAS?
Yeah. So I like the idea where you brought up that there is not a lot of retracement in this run higher, and I also wanted to bring that. I also noted that as well from my personal notes that this is very suspicious type of move in my opinion, right? Like it's either very dangerous or something big's about to happen, right? It's moving very aggressively one-sided, which we rarely see, right? So like you said, this could be setting up for manipulation lower, right? Or for them to even potentially just send it even higher, and then we have to just wait on our hands, right? Yeah, very, very interesting week, I would say. All right, nothing too crazy. I don't think if you guys didn't trade this week, I don't think you guys missed out on anything too important. And if you did trade this week, hopefully it was good for you, right? If not, it's okay. We'll just rebound next week. Wait until see what we can see for next week, right? I know this is near the end of the year where a lot of people will stop trading, right? ICT himself is probably going to be done trading in a week or so, right? And yeah, if you guys want to call your year here early, I mean, you guys can do that too, right? It's gonna be very, very. There's a lot of things happening in the world right now that causes a lot of uncertainty in the charts, right? So yeah, just be aware of that and just be careful when you guys are trading, right? But yeah, I think that should wrap up this end of the week review.
Hold on, we're not done
We're
yet.
not done yet. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Leo. Go
There's
ahead.
one more. There's one more slide, and
Oh,
then we'll
okay,
wrap
okay.
it up.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. So I have this 5 minute news set up on Nasdaq. This was Wednesday. ADP non-farm unemployment change for the AM session. You can see it's kind of like a power three thing. Buy profile on the 5 minute chart using a 15-minute PD array here. If you look at your 15-minute PD array, you'll see price prior to 8:30 run down here, accumulate. We run out buy side first, then sell side here, targeting this buy side liquidity pool. If you were savvy, this would be your entry right here. You would be stacking entries here. If you missed it, and this gave you an indication like, oh, institutional sponsorship, cool, it's okay. The price gave you another entry here at the midnight opening price. And this is why I talked about the consequent encroachment of the daily rate, because you can use it as a target sometimes. And so on a buy profile here, price expanding higher into it, you can take profit here. But ultimately, yeah, it's a little choppy in here, so it's easy to get shaken out given the price action. But I didn't trade this, I was just watching it. There's multiple TP areas like these highs here, but this would be like my final TP. This is the AM session expansion, as you can see prior to 12. And you see how price consolidates at the 50% of the wick here, kind of accumulating more before running higher into the end of the week here. We see that also at the midnight opening price, we also run into this imbalance here, this daily imbalance. Very powerful, use that support, let this open. And this is a good second entry. But yeah, this is a quick little deep dive into smaller time frame price action and how you can kind of figure out some setups. Yeah.
Solid work, Leo. Solid work. Yeah, I totally forgot about this slide here, but yeah, it's definitely tradable if you guys know what you're doing, but obviously be very, very careful, right? I like the fact that you also brought up that you guys can use the consequent encroachment of daily wick as a target, because more times than not, price would usually draw towards that. And if you guys haven't, practiced it or back tested it, I don't recommend you guys jumping into using it live yet. But if you guys if this is something you're interested in, I do recommend you going through YouTube, going through ICT's YouTube, where he does teach you more about it, right? But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this weekly end of the week review, right? Is there anything else you want to add? Did I forget something, Leo?
No. Yeah.
No.
Looking forward to next week. Hopefully it's a good week.
Yeah, yeah. And if you guys want to share, what trades you guys took in the comments down below, or have any questions or concerns for us, Leo and I will be more than happy to answer these questions for you guys, right?
Perfect.
All right, sounds good. All right, we'll see you guys on the next video on next week. See you guys then. Peace.
Take care.